On 2SM and the Super Network. Breakfast with Grant Goldman. Always first at 5 a.m.
Treasurer Joe Hockey is sticking by his comments that rich people spend more on petrol than poor households.
The Labor Party and the Greens are opposing it. They say you've got to have wealthier people or middle-income people pay more. Well, and change to the fuel excise does exactly that. The poorest people either don't have cars or actually don't drive very far in many cases. But we are actually, they're opposing what is meant to be, according to the Treasury, a progressive tax.
Yeah, well, the government wants to reintroduce the twice-yearly indexation of the fuel excise, and the measure is opposed, of course, by both Greens and Labor, who say it will hit low-income families the hardest, because they couldn't be more further apart in their thoughts here, could they? Joining us on the line, One Big Switch campaign director Joel Gibson. See what he has to say about the whole thing. Morning, Joel.
Good morning, Grant.
Well, is Joe Hockey right?
Well, certainly not according to our research, Grant. I mean, we ran a campaign called the Big Petrol Switch a couple of months back. We've had more than 130,000 Australian households join up with that campaign, and we surveyed 75,000 of them, and it was very clear that the biggest average weekly fuel bills were in outer suburban postcodes, certainly not the wealthiest suburbs. In Sydney, we're talking places like Hoxton Park, where they reported an average weekly fuel bill of over $150.
Yeah.
And, that sort of Fairfield, southwest Sydney area, they've got very, very high weekly fuel bills.
In fact, most outlying areas of Sydney, we've been able to glean it from a few people. It's about between $160 to $200 a week, so you're filling up every 4 days. Now, I can tell you now, if you're travelling from Woolloomooloo or Double Bay, you'd be filling up probably every week and a half.
That's right. That's probably true, unless you're travelling to your hobby farm in the Hunter Valley or the Southern Highlands.
And good luck if you've got that as well.
That's right.
Yeah. But I think he's missed the point, and I think it's probably an unfortunate choice of words, in my humble opinion, talking about the rich and poor people. Maybe he should have just been talking about socio-economic areas, and in some areas people are more careful with their money and don't travel as much, and say perhaps it's documented that their fuel bills might not be as high as those in the higher socio-economic areas, because he made it about the rich and the poor, which I thought was an unfortunate choice of words.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate, Grant. It was just a shocking paraphrase of an Australian Bureau of Statistics piece of data which Joe Hockey has put about this morning. Now, he says that the ABS will tell you that richer households pay more fuel excise than poorer households, and that may be the case. But I can also show you ABS data which says that the lower quintiles, if you like, the poorer households spend a higher proportion of their income on petrol. So, statistics, as we know, can be used to support all sorts.
Well, that's right. Treasury will be able to twist it around. Treasury will be able to twist it around to tell the story that they want to sell. Unfortunately, that's a fact. Now, just talk about the petrol. You've had the Big Petrol Switch campaign. That's been going since June, and looks like it's been pretty successful.
Oh, it was very successful, Grant. We weren't surprised because our, 500,000 members have been asking us for a petrol campaign for the past couple of years, and that's why we did it. We unlocked a discount of 5.5% on prepaid fuel cards with BP. It was for a limited time. It's just closed, unfortunately. But we're working on reopening that or another petrol offer in the not too distant future. We would love to have, on an ongoing basis, a discounted petrol offer as part of our consumer network offering.
Yeah. Lovely to talk to you this morning. Thank you for that. It is true then, the highest reported fuel bills are not in the wealthier suburbs. They're in the suburbs where people have families, big mortgages and modest incomes. Thanks for your time, Joel.
Thanks, Rand.
Joel Gibson from One Big Switch, 7 to 8.